So what is unfortunately the big box office bust of this year that everyone's talking about? Well, it's Tomorrowland, and I have to say, I really enjoyed it. So I thought Tomorrowland was really good and really fun. It's not too high on my list of 2015 movies, but I think it's in my top 20s currently, but that's because I've got a lot of 4-star movies in my top 20s. And I don't know, it's one of those movies where I can't really pinpoint what keeps it from being absolutely amazing and what keeps it just being just really good. So Tomorrowland is about a teenager played by Britt Robertson, and she comes into possession of this button, and this button, whenever she alone touches it, it'll transport her or show her a vision of Tomorrowland, which is this land in the future created by pioneers of Earth's greatest inventors. And what she eventually finds out is that something is going to cause the end of the world, which will basically destroy Tomorrowland from ever happening in their universe or their dimension or whatever you want to call it, because there could be some timelines and multi-dimensions, and I won't go too much into detail about that though. And she might have the power to stop it somehow, and we go on this adventure to find out how to stop this end of the world from happening and how to create a better future for Tomorrowland. Now the movie itself has this really fun but very old school science fiction feeling to it, and it also feels like an old school Disney film as well, and it meshes in a really nice way that I enjoyed. Now it does lay out its themes pretty heavily, and probably more so towards the younger audience, but it felt a little old school, but I enjoyed it. It emphasizes imagination and positivity, and it's ultimately a movie about optimism versus pessimism. Or at least that's one of the things you can get out of this movie. I thought it was a fun ride. I thought all the acting was good in the movie, and while I can understand some people hating the outcome of when they find out what is causing the world to end, I can understand people not liking it, and it is kind of lame, but when you look at the movie for all its parts at the beginning, see what it's trying to foreshadow, see all the themes involved with the first part of the movie, then it becomes a very logical twist that could happen for what's causing the world to end and why she is the possibility of stopping it. I liked George Clooney's character's story in the movie, and I liked it a little bit more than maybe even our main hero in the film. I also really liked the young girl that played Athena in this movie, and she was really good and probably slightly the most stand-out performance for me out of the 3 characters. And I don't want to give too much away if you plan on eventually seeing it. It's really hard for me to pinpoint what exactly keeps it from being a 4.5 or 5-star movie for me, because it is really fun, it's really entertaining, but it's not as great as some of the other movies I've seen this year, and I can't quite pinpoint it. Maybe it's because the themes are really heavy-handed and it tries to basically tell you what the movie's about, but that didn't bother me when I was watching it, so I'm not quite sure why I only really like it rather than loved this movie, but I have no idea. All I can say is I really had a fun time, I really enjoyed the movie, and while I didn't see too many flaws, and while it's a little heavy-handed and there's some things that are a little lame, I thought the special effects were amazing. I thought the action was really top-notch when it actually has action. I don't know what else to say. I really enjoyed Tomorrowland. I thought it was pretty good. It's basically just not as great as it could have been. I guess that's the best way to describe Tomorrowland, is it's just not as great as it could have been. So overall, I'm going to give Tomorrowland 4 out of 5 stars. Have you seen Tomorrowland? What did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Maybe you could pinpoint some of the things that you didn't like about this film. If you haven't seen Tomorrowland, then what is your favorite science fiction movie, I guess? As always, this is Bruce Gifford, and this was Just My Opinion.